And we are live for this beautiful Sunday collective talking about soul groups with you, Ma. How are you feeling that I'm in your soul group?
I'm feeling very happy this morning because we just finished with the Let's Heal, and I was thinking about how the eternal soul leaves from the spiritual home to come down on planet Earth to do the work and then go back to that eternal home, congregating with souls that are like-minded.
Yes, Mom.
And sometimes soul groups can be unfriendly as well.
Really?
Because they come to give you some kind of awakening or teach you a lesson or spring forth to take something that belongs to you, which they feel was originally theirs to take. So soul groups are not always about this romanticized soul group consciousness that people always think is so special, and they keep saying the part of my soul group and my soul group. But sometimes it can be also the balance, like on a seesaw going up and down, depending on whose turn it is to benefit from the soul association. And how we are springing forth to attract the right people into our consciousness. So finally, it's about giving, recognizing, and stabilizing to be completely stable and strong in your eternal space of wellness, connected to the spiritual supreme source, and guiding yourself to walk the road less traveled.
So in this road less traveled and the road traveled thus far, we have so much love coming in with all those gathered here who are part of our soul group.
Yeah,
we are part of theirs, and there are infinite such soul group connections, which I really want to get into. But before that, there are already a few questions and lots of love. So we have Ritu Kullar, Kavita Mitta, Chavi, Tina Auntie, Anubha Rachna, Harshla, Sabina Pasi, and Tiny Auntie and Bittu Auntie and all the others sharing their love and that they're so grateful to be part of your soul group, Ma.
I'm very happy to have them all. I was thinking about Kavita just the other day.
Yes.
And wondering where she's disappeared. I'm happy to know she's around.
She's around and connected.
And connected to my soul group.
Yes. And so as you began today's session, Ma, talking about the soul's journey and where they come from, we have Inder from Canada who asks, where do we go after death?
We go back to the supreme abode of the divine, where we are welcomed with great celebration for the great work that we did on planet Earth as healers, and having divinely integrated the light for one and all, we are very compatibly, the process of going back is the same as the process of coming. So there is, between the spiritual abode and the material abode, there is a river called the Vetrani River. And that is giving us the freedom and the choice to travel through those nectarian waters, through the oceans of light, to come down to take birth through the womb of the mother and assisted by the father's sperm, and nuclear explosion takes place and life is beginning to form. And then we enter the womb, and that is our first soul group, our parents. And depending on how much of karmic resonance we have with the parent, they continue through life. And some people lose their parents even at very young age. Sometimes the soul is born and the mother's already done her soul group activity and she's departed. So when you go back, it's the Vetraj River, where it's flowing upwards towards the Supreme Source. And we enter that river once again in a dizzy spell, and we arrive at the divine abode. And we are looking at the divine grace and the divine intervention and the divine creation and the divine fragrance of spiritual nectar, where we will wait till the next instruction, and if the divine wills it, we come back down here again. Sometimes it's our free will, and sometimes it's to work for the divine. The divine sends people down to populate the world with the healing light and to give them great compassion in their heart. And there is soul families, and then there are soul groups. And then, we also, I think in one of the Sunday collectives, we had talked about the twin flames. So the twin flame is part of your flame has been ignited in another. So there's only one twin flame that you can find in your life if you're traveling and looking and looking and looking. But soul groups are many. Everywhere you go, you will find, you walk into a room, you intuitively get attracted to somebody. That's part of your soul group. And you feel you've known them for a long time. Maybe you're meeting them for the very first time. But you are very connected and authenticating your reality with them. And they have something to give to you, and you have something to give to them. And in that give and take is established a relationship of profound love. And sometimes when the soul group association of karma is over, it can also give you great pain.
Oh.
Like yesterday, I had somebody in my office who was saying that, I met this person in class 5, and then we traveled together, and then we were always pledging that we'll get married. And now in an adult relationship, we have lived together for 8 years. And he's just informed me that he's fallen in love with my best friend, who's part of the soul group. And now they're getting married, and I have to be heartbroken, and I'm being dumped.
Oh, gosh.
So I had to tell her that it's good that you had the 8 years and whatever memories you created. And now you have to go to your new soul group, and you have to move ahead, and you have to live in the abundant love that other people have for you. It's not that the love is coming only from one source.
Yes, ma'am.
So the divine is always arranging that we experience and we re-experience and we learn our lessons, and sometimes it's repetitive. Because, you leave one marriage because your husband's alcoholic, and then you get into a second marriage, and the second person also turns out to be, exhibiting addictive behavior. And then you leave them, and then your third one also is the same, because you have not healed sufficiently within yourself that karmic destiny of having to look out for people who are a little bit intoxicated.
So, Ma, are we always attracting a similar pattern of soul groups?
Yeah, soul group patterns are established according to the lineage of your karma and what you have downloaded and in the book of karma and rewritten your destiny, and other soul groups will merge with yours to create, like supposing somebody gets married, they adopt a whole new family from the other side, and how they're going to interact, whether it's going to be peaceful, whether it's going to be strengthening, whether it's going to bring purity and love and compassion to the relationship. And sometimes, we have dowry deaths, and we have people saying that this marriage was not appropriate and you didn't spend enough and you didn't honor us. So it can be, soul groups can also come to complain, in other words, and be dissatisfied with whatever you are projecting outwards. Everybody is doing their best, but how the other person is receiving it is very, very important. And that's why I say that let's not romanticize
the soul
part of a soul group, but to
Oh.
be very visually watchful at what the other person is saying and doing, and then without reaction, interacting with them with the, knowing that we should be detached and that we are here only temporarily till our last breath, and then we'll go back to the abode of the divine and we'll do service there. Serve we must, whether we are serving in this life or in the other life, because that's part of our personality.
So does our personality, if it changes with like healing and a realization, or it could be even a happy or a sad event, then our resonance of the soul group also changes?
Yeah, because there was this one lady who came to me and she said that when she was young, her grandmother was always showing her how to cut the vegetables, and then she would make this pickle, and they were like a 60-member family living in a joint, big home. And so she learned, and then she forgot about her grandmother. I think she was 16 or 17 when the grandmother passed away, and then she got married, and then now she's single again, and her profession is making pickles. So she's very grateful to that soul group association with the grandmother who taught her everything there was, all the recipes, and now it's part of her livelihood.
Yes, ma'am.
So soul groups will also come. You'll have association. They'll transform something within you and will leave you intellectually educated.
Yes, ma'am.
And spiritually validated for your presence on planet Earth. And then you will continue to do things and you'll say, oh, I never expected that I would do this.
Right. Or I
for
never
the rest of my life. And then I'm smiling because it's not for the rest of your life.
No.
Because the quality of human nature is constantly changing.
So I am just very fascinated, and my mind is coming back again and again on the statement, Ma, that you just made, that we shouldn't romanticize our soul groups. But my question is, why do we romanticize? Like, what is the need in us that we feel that all our soul groups are something magical and magnetic and very empowering? Aren't they? Like, could you guide us on this?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Inder, and they're living in Toronto.
Yes, Ma.
And they had part of their soul group a very interfering neighbor.
Okay.
And then they were always unhappy about their property and they wanted to change and leave the house. And I would keep telling them, no, but I see you in the same house. So you should upgrade your house and renovate and do things. And then the last time I spoke to them, they said, the neighbor has just upped and left, sold the house. And we have nice neighbors now. So they've done sufficient healing for that neighborhood to become friendly. And they've invited semi-soul group. Semi means that you're not going to interact that much.
Too much.
But at least they're not going to disturb the sanctity of your peace and your own environment, and they're not going to send you hate vibes. They're not going to criticize the way you live, the way you cook, or whatever. The fragrances that are coming out of your chimney, they're going to enjoy the fragrance.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's how we see the constant change, and we accept it and we move on. Somebody may move into the neighborhood and the child is getting married and they'll send you an invite. Now, depending on whether you'll go and create that balance of association, or you may just ignore the invitation and you'll never know them and they'll never know you.
Right.
But they are part of your soul group because they did send you an invitation.
Right.
So how you reciprocate and how you interact and how you dovetail yourself into your environment on a daily basis is what creates or makes you as a person and gives you varied experiences of life. You may go somewhere and they'll just give you some dry fruit with jaggery.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you'll take the first bite and you'll say, oh my God, this is so good.
Good.
And then somebody in the evening will come and say, you need to have some jaggery because it's purifying your blood. And so one is orchestrated and sent you.
Yes.
The good dry fruit jaggery.
Yes.
And the other one is instructing you. So both are part of your soul group and both are saying the same thing, but one is actually sending and one is doing lip service.
Lip service.
So depending on how much karma you have, that much is the interaction.
So in this process, my mind is going to even like diseases or bacteria or viruses or trees in the garden or a monkey that comes to visit, and or a mosquito that bites you, or a butterfly that gently kisses you on the
Yeah.
cheek. So all of these are interactions of soul groups.
Yeah. And the soul group can come like this. Recently we had Parveen and Aditya.
Yes.
They brought us 2 trees.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So now he said, I've never presented anyone with trees, but I just knew that they wanted to come here.
Yes, ma'am.
And so they want to stand tall in your garden. So of course Divya and I honored them.
And we found 2
planted
lovely
them.
spots for them.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So they are also part of our soul group. They're coming to give some nurturance, and then they could grow into a big tree. And then one day you have a storm and the tree falls on your car. So for such a long time, the tree was giving oxygen and spearheading some good health for you and all. And then it had some little bit of different karma, different flavor. So the same soul in that tree is giving up its life to destroy something. Maybe it's a brand new car you just bought and it's saying, this is my car. I want to sit in it. So
Yes, ma'am.
the tree just falls on it. So, even simple interactions in the universe are part of your intimate relationships as you navigate your life. So navigate we must, and we must trust and must learn from the universe and keep going.
So in this act of keep going, what should our understanding be from 2 perspectives? One, that we have a moment of transformation. In my experience, that is the healing empowerment. And so when we do the healing, like with the example of Inder, that they were doing the healing, you were sending the healing, and then something manifested and changed.
It took a few years.
Took a few years, but there was a positive change that occurred. As of now, it seems positive. Now, when we're not healers, what are the actions or the thoughts and the vibrations we can send out into the universe or physically actually do to transform pain-giving or suffering-giving or irritant-giving soul groups and change that resonance and move into a more harmonious and more friendly soul group?
So that's what we were talking about it just yesterday, that there's a family dynamic between all soul groups, right?
Yes.
So I was talking about my childhood, that how we had this, I think 14 homes that were built around a courtyard, and everybody used to make the food and they would share it with the 14 households, right?
Yes.
So if somebody made curry or somebody made rajma or chicken curry, they would make enough to share with all the households. And then there was this conversation about how one of the families was not wealthy enough to be able to cook
For everyone else.
for everyone else and partake in the feast of sharing. But the family always sent them an equal amount of whatever they had cooked. And then there was this reciprocation, that how did they validate their association with the family and the soul group, that they would always come to help with some of the other chores in the house.
Whether it was cutting and preparing the vegetables or the meat or
even helping in washing up
the clothes,
or even washing up the dishes, and they would it would be a collaborative effort, because that soul group, that family belonged to that soul group, and so everybody was taking care and giving them the same respect. And in the olden days, people would walk in spontaneously to people's homes.
Yes.
And then it was that, society said that, please inform.
Yes.
So then we had the telephone, and people used to say that let's do potluck, and then it would be very exciting. And then it came to cell phones, and then people would, call anytime, anywhere. And then it was about messaging, and now people even complain that I get too many messages and I keep my phone switched off and I can't be bothered. And it's unheard of that somebody would just drop in because they were remembering you. But in the olden days, it was a lot of freedom, lot of association, lot of camaraderie and a lot of love and affection, and showing the other people that you really care. But nowadays it's you're even, I'm not saying scared, but you are thinking that would they be happy to receive your message.
Yes.
And if it's a request for meeting, then many times people are saying it's inconvenient, today it's not possible, let's do it next week, and the next week never
comes.
Yeah. So we're
Wow.
missing out on those associative moments of building a relationship, and sometimes we don't want any more relationships because we're so happy just doing our own thing. So you have to give in the soul group is the point I'm trying to establish, that you have to share, you have to heal. Even if you're not a healer, there are so many other ways of showing someone that you care enough.
So in this exchange of care, I am putting out the question to everyone listening in live, that what is it that they want to appreciate more in their soul groups? And then, Ma, you can guide us on how to do that.
Yeah, because I was just taken to Tel Aviv. I was there once for celebrating their festival of Pesach. And they were all making these big baskets of fruits and food and bread and all. And I was wondering what they were going to do with it. And they said that, we're just going to go and leave it at this doorstep of certain relatives or friends' homes, or neighborhood families who could not celebrate the festival because they didn't have enough money. So it was incognito. They would not even put their name on the basket. That we are the ones who left it. They would just, with great honor, leave it at the doorstep. And I thought it was very, very sweet sharing, and that was showing that you're part of the soul group and you're caring enough to reach out and honor and respect and share.
And share. So it's the share and the aspect of collaboration.
Solidarity.
And solidarity.
Yeah.
That is actually cementing
the relationship
further. Wow.
And sometimes people are not interested in cementing relationship because they say that it's like a burden. Their shoulders are not strong enough to take charge of giving forward.
Correct.
Because they feel they have insufficient. But I think everybody has sufficiency. Finally, it's coming from the divine.
Yes.
And the more you empty out, the more the divine will fill up those empty spaces with goodness and honor and cherishing and spreading the light.
And so in this interactive cementing or gluing or weaving together, Nilima Data from Jaipur, she asks that where does cohesiveness come into this equation?
Cohesiveness is only in your heart with the divine, and everybody else is temporary. So don't look for the great philosophical attachment to anyone permanently. Even it could be your children, it could be your parents. There are so many times that people drift away from, associating with even loved ones because there is no cohesiveness, or the destinations that you have to reach are completely different.
Yes.
I remember once there was, I was teaching healing, and there was this method of the Reiki box, and this gentleman was writing that he wanted to move abroad. And he kept saying, I'm doing so much healing, and it's just not manifesting my international job. So I told him that what exactly are you healing? Let me see. So we opened that little box, and he had 3 contradictory statements in that healing box. The first one was that he should move to the US with the most fabulous job, and he should be settled ever after. And then he had written that he should live with his parents and take care of them for the rest of his life.
Yes.
And then the third was that his pet dog was so important that association should continue.
Wow.
So the job was not manifesting because he wanted to stay with his pet and his parents, and he still had this ambition to move abroad. So I told him, do one healing, either to stay with the parents or to move away and get a fabulous job. So I said, what do you really want? Because your parents will visit you in the US.
Yes.
But first you need to go.
First you need to go.
So it was contradictory that he wanted to be in both places simultaneously, and that the healing world is very sweet. They will not deliver to you unless you're very, very sure.
Very, very sure.
Yeah.
So even in our day-to-day planned activities, where we may choose to interact with certain soul groups or spaces in our life and homes and work, this entire story tells me that we are very confused.
Yeah.
And we're sending contradictory
So
messages.
then he started sending healing for the US, and within 3 weeks he had a fabulous job, and he moved to Atlanta, and he still lives there
Oh, wow.
with his family and his parents. I think his father has been, but I think his mother's still thinking, debating whether she should go to the US
Oh,
to
wow.
visit with him.
Oh, wow.
So it's very sweet. The story never ends.
The story never ends, and we have a lot of love and hearts at this entire exposition, whether it's from Neha. We have sweet Kunal Marva joining in, who says,
Sweet.
love you, Nani, so
Love
much.
you.
And Nilima says, gratitude, Ma, such profound understanding. And we have lovely Akshay and Shubrata joining in from the US, who say, ma'am, so grateful to be here. We love you and Divya.
So sweet.
Their question is, how can we make the relationship of our soul group stronger, like our house? Because I believe that they're just shifting into
a
their new house.
and
Yes.
they're living in 2 rooms, and
Yeah.
there's renovation everywhere. So planting
Wow.
the trees, Akshay, and making
Shubrata, yeah.
making your environment friendly, and still being happy with the neighborhood and with the people, and stepping out of your home, going for a walk. I don't know how cold it is in New York right now.
Yeah, I think it snowed in
Yeah.
a lot of places. I don't know if it snowed in New York. Do tell us. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the how to become friendly with the neighborhood is to walk around and spread the light and thank all the trees and all the plants and all the windows and doors into your home. You know, honor them by saying that you've done this job enough, and now we need new, bigger windows. So you're not saying that, oh, these are too small and, you know, they're not sufficient. You're just saying that it's going to be more majestic to bring nature in, so we're going to put bigger windows.
So I suddenly, when you said, Ma, that you go for a walk, I had this thought and question that whether it's going for a walk, whether it's you're dropping in to someone's house,
Yeah.
or you're inviting people, when you don't make it to a place, so you don't make it to a party, you don't make it to the wedding that people invited you to, or you don't make it to your friend's house, are you being rejected, or are they being rejected by the universe and your soul group?
No,
Like, who's missing out? Are both people missing out, or
both
both?
people are missing out, and
Okay.
both are being validated, because it could be that the friend comes and visits with you and creates disharmony and discord and picks a fight with somebody else at the party, or gets drunk and starts spewing venom and, you know, is
Or
out
breaks
of balance,
things.
or breaks things, and then, you know, never sees you again because they're so embarrassed with their behavior. So
Yes,
depending on who you are inviting, where you're going. So the universe is always orchestrating a little bit of the intellect use, and then the third eye chakra, the intuitive observer self, and you're going to watch everything very carefully. And you're going to be at the right place at the right time to deliver the right karmic consequences. And
to
the other-
yourself and to the other
Yeah.
person.
that you had this much karma to invite somebody, and they had no karma to come and partake of the feast that you were cooking.
And in this connection to the feast, like when we serve ourselves some food, there's also a soul group energy with the grain
With
and
the
the
grain
land and
and
the
the-
farmers and
Yes,
the
yes,
factory
yes.
or production place or processing plant, wherever that food
And
has
your ability
come.
to cook and put all the flavors together, because the spices may have come from a different country altogether. Because
Yes.
I know a lot of the arhar dal that people eat in India is actually grown in Canada.
Oh,
And it
wow.
finds its way. So
To our homes
depending-
and into our pressure cookers and then into our tummies. So, Ma, in that context, when we serve ourselves something and then we take a few bites, it's not that we don't like the food or we don't want to eat it, that we just become full and we become satiated. So, what should we do with that remaining food? Should we put it aside? Like, it could be a piece of cake. Maybe you took 2 bites and you don't want to eat anymore at that moment in
you
time.
can cover it and keep it and have it later. Or if you really disliked it, then you can offer it to the birds and leave it maybe for the squirrel. Divya, who's
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
love that cake
Love
if you
that
have
cake.
some piece handy.
Yes,
So the
Ma.
universe is always sending you your soul group. It could be just offering some water to the plant. So that share of that water in that cup is, yesterday we did that singing bowl meditation.
Yes, Ma.
And we energized some water. And then I was noticing that I asked one of the students to put it into a potted plant. Now there were 6 potted plants in the room. They chose that one that they had a soul association with. And they would never have been of service to that plant.
Yes, Mom.
But through the instructions and the meditation and the sound bathing and all those singing bowls that were ringing, that person chose that one plant. So they had a soul association with that plant, and they, with great honor, offered that healing singing water to that plant.
Wow.
So it can be somebody else's instruction and you're following through, but you're completing your karma with the soul group.
And so should it also be spontaneous, that if you, like from time to time, if you are pouring this water, it's not always to the same plant, it's a different plant and it could be a different place.
Yeah.
And so the same way with the food, if you're always serving food and leaving it on your plate, then that is dishonoring.
Dishonoring it. So serve less.
Serve less.
You can always go back a second time.
And then we have some healing requests, Ma, as I'm always so fascinated that we're almost at the end of today's Sunday Collective yet again, with the desire and the commitment to meet again and to keep
the soul
healing
groups going.
and to keep the soul groups going. So we have Jasleen, who says, Auntie Ji, please send me healing as I am recovering from some sickness from her time in India. And she's also been feeling sad for the past few days.
Yeah, because the planets have not been so friendly with the moon and Mars creating sort of despair in people. And of course we have so much like warlike situations going on around the world, and we should send out love and light to all those who are preparing to go to war, that they've changed their mind.
Okay, wow.
And they become part of our peaceful soul groups, and they honor human life and human enterprise.
So in that context, I want to pre-announce that we're going to be having a special 21-day healing via Zoom, that we're going to be connecting to the soul group of all on Mother Earth as a planet to heal for stability and
peace and honor and respect
for each other, and to channel the light to the war-torn areas on planet Earth.
Absolutely.
Yes, Ma. So that is quite something to work towards and think about. Then we have Neelam Auntie, who's having a lot of physical pain.
Yeah, she has knees.
Knees, yes, Ma.
And if I tell her that she should lose some weight, then she'll smile.
Yes, Ma.
She say, hota nahi hai. Because you have such a strong soul group association with the food that you keep eating.
That's very interesting. So, okay. So that there's like, it could also be like a soul group association with like
flowers coming to your home, or the
home,
fruit coming, or the grains that you're eating.
That are grown in Canada.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Somebody said that I'm allergic to gluten, so I'm only been eating rice, and the doctor saying turn to millets and turn. So it depends on which is your new soul group relationship that's going to give you good health
Yes, Ma.
and peace, or is going to create ill health and disease.
Yes,
So
Ma.
depending on how grateful you are, I think that would be that one word that I would say to everyone, that whoever is part of your soul group, whether it's the plant, whether it's the fruit, whether it's the food, whether it's the people, whether it's the neighborhood, whether it's people you work with, if you have gratefulness, then everything is fully empowering and is going to take you to the right
Place at the right time.
and be on the road of great fortune and success, and with divine creation, divine understanding, divine intellect, and divine spiritual source energies coming down to assist you, then you are always going to be doing the right action.
So looking forward to having more and more opportunities of healing and good health and right action. We have a healing request from Garvita in Canada who says, "Hello Ma, I misplaced my keys. Please send some healing.
Okay.
We know where the keys are, but we cannot access them.
Oh my God.
Grateful to you, Ma."
Okay. So they're not lost, they're just locked.
Misplaced, locked out. So what is that? I mean, I'm just looking at the symbolism of this last healing request of the
That
keys.
we have actually locked ourselves out from our own soul groups.
So we know who's our soul group,
Yeah, and
but
we're
we can't
unwilling
access.
to give
Unwilling to give.
and accept what they have to give us.
Wow.
So send out an affirmation that I'm grateful for everything, even for the keys to be barricaded and we can't reach them over the
Wow.
weekend. Maybe she left them in office.
Wow. So in that office and new spaces, we have Preeti Porwal who's taking this soul group consciousness to Hyderabad
For her new house.
for her new house. And then we have Sunena who is bringing that soul group consciousness from New York to New Delhi.
So sweet. Welcome.
Welcome.
We look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, Ma. So sending great hugs of care and love to all listening in. Thank
Stay
you.
well. Stay healing. See you next Sunday. Love you all.
Love you, Ma.
Bye-bye.